Hey everyone, welcome back to another funky voiceover by yours truly. Today I'm going to teach you how to make Aloo Gosht, which is basically a lamb or mutton potato curry. So we start off with slicing our onions because we use onions in pretty much every single curry as a base. So it's 2 medium onions, you slice them up, grab yourself 6 or 7 cloves of garlic and just peel your garlic and chop them in half. You really don't need to mince them or anything because the way we're going to make this, everything will kind of dissolve together and soften really easily. You'll see what I mean in a second. So with the ginger, I like to grate it because, well, I don't like big pieces of ginger that get stuck in your teeth and stuff. So I'm using a lamb shoulder, which is going straight into my pot. I've got ½ kilo here. And you can use mutton, you can use other cuts of lamb or whatever meat you like, red meat you like. And then you're going to go in with some water, about 1 inch of water in the pan, your prepared onions, garlic and ginger, and then 1 big black cardamom pod and ½ a cinnamon stick, then 2 teaspoons of salt go into there as well. I put 2 teaspoons, you can put a little bit less or more depending on how you like your salt. And I've got 1 teaspoon of basaar. Now basaar is basically a spice mix, and if you don't have it or can't get it, then I will write in the description box what you can use instead. Give that a mix and then allow it to come to the boil. Put the lid on and reduce heat to low and simmer for 20 minutes. When the 20 minutes are almost up, you chop yourself 2 medium-sized tomatoes, fresh tomato, because I like the flavor of fresh tomatoes. I mean, people use canned tomatoes, but I just feel like it makes the curry a bit sweet in flavor in comparison to using fresh tomatoes, so I like to use fresh ones. Then chilies, I put 2 small ones in. You could put 1 big one in, again, depending on your spice tolerance. Put those tomatoes and chilies into your handi and then give it another mix. Let it come to the boil again. Put the lid on, turn it back on low for roughly another 20 minutes because lamb takes about 40 minutes to steam and cook. If you're using mutton, it'll take a lot longer. Then while you're waiting for that to happen, you want to peel your potatoes into about inch and a half size pieces. Give them a wash and a soak. Leave them to the side. Then you check on your lamb. Okay, so you know when your lamb is ready. You take it out and then you kind of break it with your fingers. I mean, my fingers tips are probably burnt off from all the cooking that I do, so I can easily do this. So you might want to cool it down a little bit before you try to do that. So if it breaks apart easily, that means it is ready. So you dry out any excess water. Put the heat on high and dry out any excess water that might be left inside your pot. Once it's dried out, then you go ahead and add your oil and some dhania powder, which is coriander powder. Then you basically want to saute this on a high heat for roughly about 5 to 6 minutes. And then you want to go ahead and add in your potatoes. I drained the water from the potatoes first, guys. I didn't put the water in with it. So just add in your potatoes by themselves. Then while you're sauteing, also boil some water in the kettle because we're going to use boiled water to make the curry part of our curry, the curry part of our curry, and the watery part, you know what I mean. So you'll know when your masala is ready for the water when it kind of bubbles, but it's not bubbling yet. So basically my mother-in-law taught me this trick that you need to bun it. Bun is basically kind of sauteing it on a high heat until your masala kind of bubbles. Can you see that it's happening there? So it kind of continues to bubble when you take it out. So I don't know if that made any sense to anyone, but yeah, anyway. Add in your boiling water. Once your masala is ready, then you want to let that come to a boil, properly cover it and then cook it on a medium to high heat for about 10 to 15 minutes until your aloo are ready, so your potatoes are fully cooked. So just check them with a knife, poke it in. If it goes in easily, that means your potatoes are ready. And that's pretty much it. You turn the heat off and then you add in your garam masala, so about 1/4 teaspoon, pop it in. Then you add in a handful of chopped coriander. You can use fresh coriander. I'm tasting it here for the salt, if in case it needs any more. And then bob in your coriander, mix it in. And there you have it, guys. That's some delicious, yummy aloo gosht for you. I'll put the measurements for everything in the description box. Enjoy!